Welcome back to the Vision Lab podcast in partnership with Nexum Creative. I'm your host, Ryan Cuffey, alongside my co-host, Mr. Ryan Mosley. The Vision Lab is the official growth mindset podcast showing special love to the cigar community. The lab is where we focus on growth and exploring the developmental path of people's visions and dreams and how those dreams come into reality. Folks, it's all about tapping into and becoming the best versions of ourselves through self-discovery, self-examination, and self-actualization. Visionaries across the globe, look, this is a special episode for me. I've got my homie, my big brother, my man from way back in the day dropping into the lab. And yo, we're going to get really deep. Okay, we got a really interesting show. So yo, Mo, who do we have on the show today?
Cuff, today's guest is a native of Wetumppka, Alabama. He was a second-round draft pick of the 49ers in the 2001 NFL Draft. He played 10 years in the league, spending time with the 49ers, the Broncos, the Titans, and the Jaguars. He is a survivor of colorectal cancer. He is a father of 4 kids. Please welcome your big brother, Jamie Winborn, to the Vision Lab podcast.
Hey.
What up?
What's going on, baby? How y'all doing?
Man, grateful. Yo, this is big, man. This is real big. We are honored, Jay Wynn, for you to jump into the lab and really drop nuggets of wisdom on the trail to life, man. You and I have known each other since 1999. And the crazy thing, I gotta bring you up to speed. So what you don't know, or maybe what you don't know, is that Jamie actually went to Bowie High School here in Arlington, Texas, and one of his coaches was Chris Naughton, who left Bowie and then came to Martin, which is where I went to high school, and ended up coaching me. So it was destined that we were going to meet, man. And I'm super excited that you're on the show, bro.
Absolutely, man. Thank y'all for having me, man. It should be good. It should be exciting, man.
So you, my friend, have had a hell of a life. Obviously, we know that you were an All-American at Vanderbilt, playing linebacker. Spent some time in the NFL, but that's not all there is to Jamie Winborn. Let's get into it. Colorectal cancer. That's a big thing. Like, you know, how did that happen? Like, what type of colon cancer did you have?
Well, actually, I tell you what, I take you back to when how it first started. Actually, my last year was 2010, and I was playing with the Tennessee Titans. And for some reason, I just couldn't keep weight at all. I had special milkshakes, all of that kind of stuff, and was drinking them during meetings. And the trainers kept just saying, we just can't get your weight up, and my weight was probably, I want to say I was about 220 and that was like 220, 21, something, in that range. And that was heavy for me. But as soon as we started practicing or what have you, I mean, it dropped down. I'd be 215, 216 in that range or what have you. And I'd actually kind of had stomach issues. But they'd always just told me that it was, food poisoning or something, or H. pylori or something like that. They just didn't pay it very much attention. So my last year went by, and then I go on to finish playing, and then I remember I went to the emergency room like twice, from stomach pain, really bad, and it was the same thing over and over. You ate something bad or something like that. And then I was already having problems at that time as well. I mean, the pain was just so bad, man. Was having, real problem, even, getting an erection. And, I'd be sleeping in a whole separate room anyway, because I'd be up so early in the morning and didn't want to wake the kids and, wake them up. But, and it just came down to one day, man, I was in the bathroom just crying. And actually, I'll take it back. Before that, I was in the bathroom crying. I'd lie when I was playing for the Titans, and I'd go in the bathroom. I tell Fisher them or one of the coaches, I got to go to the restroom. I'd be in there full pads, just crying like shit. Like this pain is crazy. I don't even know, but I don't know what it is. it's just lower, so low. But I'm talking about the kind of pain where if you're driving a car, you know, you almost wreck, you got to stop. You know, I was having that at practice. I go in there and cry about it, you know, to myself or what have you, you know, and, you know, pick myself back up, go right back out there, 9 on 7, you know, and get to hitting and shit. So, you know, because I was ashamed and I really didn't know what to tell them anyway. You know, I didn't know what it was at that time. And, but I was really putting myself through some shit that I really shouldn't have did. When I think about it, you know, I wouldn't advise anybody to do that. I just was taught to fight through pain for so many years, but you know, it ultimately almost was the death of me. Because when I did, I had another bathroom incident, which was back here in Atlanta at home. I was on all fours in the bathroom crying. And at that time, my ex-wife at that time had just said, you know, something's really wrong. We got to check this, get you checked out. So we gone about 4 or 5, 3 or 4 doctors, I'd say, because it was probably the 5th doctor that found it. Same thing, saying I had, you know, the H. pylori or food poisoning, but that wasn't it. Finally, we went to this last doctor, and I was like, man, it can't be what they saying. I said, I know pain. Something is very wrong. I know something is wrong, you know. And I did the MRI and all, you know, I forget what you call it. I'll come back
all
to
the
that.
Scans.
Yeah, I did all the scans, but it's you know, where they go inside of you and look around and all that. I can't think. It'll come to me in a second. But anyway, she come out of there from the back with the results. And I'll never forget that day. She came out and she was like, you know, you have a tumor.
Wow.
And when she said that, I just looked up like, you know, excuse my French. I was like, you know, what do you mean a tumor? A tumor? As in cancer? And she was like, yes. And, you know, you pretty much probably, and from the size of it, you're probably, you know, a stage 2-ish, you know, headed to 3, you know, and this was like, well, you mentioned that you couldn't keep weight and your weight had been dropping. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it just going away like no other. And she was like, yeah, that's why. And that's when I found out. And I just remember that ride home. It was like every 5 minutes, I just remembered, like, I just left the doctor. She just said I had cancer, you know, and it just kept playing in my head till it was just really messing with me. And I'll never forget, you know, because it changed my life in a way. Almost, you know, I had other things going on, which we'll touch on as well at that time before I even found that out, you know, because the truth is that, you know, my ex-wife, you know, at that time had already asked for a separation before that. So that was just more added on to it or whatever, to the stress that I was already dealing with. And I felt like, you know, at that time the marriage was kind of going downhill. As you know, it was already a lot going on, but I just didn't feel like I had much time in life left at that time.
You know, it's crazy because you were this hellified athlete that was all everything on every level, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you were probably everything in Pop Warner, middle school, high school,
all my life,
all your life. And then it just proves that it doesn't, you know, cancer and these diseases, they don't care about your age, your sex, your social class, your financial position in life. How humbling was it for you, you know, when you realized like that I you know, I'm not immortal.
You know, it was very humbling, but in a different way. I want to say, because, you know, I'd always had confidence and been a decent, you know, fairly humble guy, but the type of humbleness that this was just something I had never ever experienced in my life. This was like taking you as a man and just breaking you all the way down. I mean, because no amount of money you have can save you. There's nothing like that, you know, and the chances and the truth is, you know, the doctor visits that you're going to, and I'll get into the treatment in a second, but they make it very clear to you that this is not a, you know, we're always going to be hopeful, but this is not one of those situations where it's just a guaranteed type thing, you know. So they advise you to get your, you know, and that's what scares the shit out of you as well. When doctors advise you to get your, you know, get your financials and get things in order.
Get those affairs in order.
Yeah, you get your affairs in order. You kind of think like, you know, well, what do you mean? You know, no, in order as if you don't make it out of this.
Wow.
And facing that, like I said, that's where, you know, I just started, you know, I would drink, you know, go out and party, you know what I mean? Because I didn't feel like I had, you know, I'd been saving money, saving all this shit, you know, doing all kinds of, you know, just thinking of everything in planning of long run. And here's something like this hits you, and it's kind of like, you may never make it anywhere near that long run of all this saving and all this, you know, that you've been trying to do. You may not even make it that far.
Yeah.
You know, and that was it was a lot for me to handle, man. My family was very supportive at that time, but you know, the truth was, when I think back to the mindset that I was at that time, man, I was, you know, I stressed myself to death because worrying about my kids, you know, you can't help but think that you know, I may not be here for them when they get older. You know, I just may not. And that was before I even began any of the treatments. You know,
it's funny you're talking about this, and before I ask you my question, Cuff, allow me to say thank you to people who take care of us. And one of those people is Edwina Brown and the family over at Blowing Smoke Cigar Lounge in Duncanville, Texas. The address is 215 West Camp Wisdom Road. It's funny, you've talked about, like, you know, finding out that you had cancer. You talked about all the different signs that were there. But from your standpoint, and you know, now that you're on the other side of it, can you talk to our visionaries about some of the misconceptions that people have when they hear the word cancer?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't, you know, to be honest with you, I haven't heard a lot of the, you know, the misconception that people may have about it. I can say that it is something to be feared, because you know, obviously technology has gotten a lot better over the years. You know, when I had mine, it's 2020. I started probably in 12, you know, started 12-ish, you know, it took around roughly 2 years for me to finish. It was, I would say, about 2012 necessarily. And then up to about 2014. And then I had to wait a 2-year period out. But, you know, like, back to the misconceptions, I mean, it's as bad as it seems, man. Be honest.
I think really what people see now is that, you know, like you said, a lot of technology is in place. Mm-hmm. You don't hear about colon cancer or colorectal cancer as much as you do like a breast cancer, prostate cancer, those type of things. Now, we certainly know that it's out there, but I was doing some studying before, you know, we got to this, and colorectal cancer is like the number 2 cancer out there.
Yes.
And so, you know, I think that's kind of what we were talking about as it relates to misconceptions, right?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it is, man. And I like to say that, you know, I would always promote people to go and get checked. You know, the age used to be about 45 to check, but hell, look at me, who, you know, pretty much had a good diet, had private chefs and all of this, and there I had it at 31, 32.
Wow.
But the age was supposed to be 45, the age where you go and get checked. Well, that age is dropped down now. You know, you might as well say 30 for people. Yeah, because especially in Black African-American men, for some strange reason, I don't know what it is, but you know, from the information that I've gathered, that's around the age, within the 30 to 35. So you got to look at that. That's a whole 10-year descend on the time frame age wise when you should go and get tested. And that's true. I mean, it is. I don't know what it is about it, but you're finding the guy from Black Panther.
Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, that's what he died from. I'm 41. I've already defeated that at one time, but it's, the truth is that the doctors already tell you, and they tell you it could come back. And not only that one, it could spread to be something else. It could be another type of cancer, not necessarily the same type of cancer, but a different one. So you got to try to block that out of your mind. That's what I do, because if I don't, man, it stresses me to a point where it just is not good. And I think what helps me deal with that now is that I probably got like 11 people that I mentor, people that are going through and fighting, some form or variation of cancer, and just sharing my story with them, and being there for them if they want to call me, and talking to them about what I did to get through some of my treatments, and just being an ear, because this is one of them situations where to talk to somebody that didn't have didn't have it, it's not gonna work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'll be comforting, and you'll feel that somebody, but they just don't understand what it is that you're saying necessarily, because when I talk to them, and because I did 25 treatments of radiation, okay, and then that had implications to it, which was it severed, because of the area that I had to get the radiation, it severed the nerve to my bladder. Okay, and people say, well, what does that mean? Well, that means that I don't feel that I have to use the bathroom till it's damn near too late.
Wow.
And when I do use the bathroom, like number one or something, well, I could use it and then I shake for like a minute. Okay, I think I'm done. Put my stuff in my pants, take about 5 steps, and now I have a complete whole nother puddle there because I just don't feel that. So I, in my car, I keep like, 5 pair of underwear in there. I keep, it just changed my life in so many ways. I have Depends in my car.
So these are things that you're going through right now.
Yeah, this is now. This is last night I went to the bathroom probably 15 times from the time of from 12 to about 5. I was up because every time I lay down, well, okay, because I didn't get to this part and I don't want to lose people because, okay, so I end up having to have what you call a J pouch. I had a colostomy bag outside. Okay, let me get back to the treatment so I don't lose people. Okay, the treatment that I had, okay, I did 25 treatments to shrink the cancer. Okay, and then it was time for the actual surgery to try to remove it. Okay, well, when they did that, that's when they gave me a colostomy bag that's outside,
right? Which
is a whole nother story in itself. Lord Jesus, who I don't wish that on anybody, but it is a lifesaver. Basically your intestine is just hanging out of your body and you're using it and don't even know it. Wow. Wow. And but on top of that, okay, so now I'm getting the chemo. So I had to have a surgery for a port here. Okay, and so I go in to do my treatment, which is about 5 hours of complete poison is all it is.
Right.
And when and when I was taking the chemo, man, I mean, oh man, even my pubic hairs wouldn't grow. That's how powerful it was. Like I'm losing hair, I'm losing all kinds of stuff, and I go into the treatment center. When I get the 5-hour treatment, there's no kids allowed at all. And so there's no kids allowed. Okay, and then the next thing you know, when you go in there, you go back to this private sector in a way, and then there's just probably 15 different beds of people all getting the same thing. And two different people died when they didn't make it through the treatment.
Wow.
I come in one day, and one guy was way younger than me, the other guy was, I think, roughly the same age or a little bit more, but he was a little bit, he was probably about a year, maybe if at the most older than me, but he just didn't make it through it. The treatment was so much. Okay, and so after the 5 hours of treatment, then they give me this portable pack to take home, which they hook it into my port, and I wear that for 48 hours until it goes off. Okay, within a couple of hours of that going off, I have to be back at the doctor for them to take it out, flush it, and make sure that it's all right, and then give me a steroid shot. So, you know what I mean? And that, like, that whole time, man, I mean, I lost taste, smell. If I touched a cup of cold water, it's like my whole arm would just freeze up, would like just cramp up. It just, that chemo is just horrible, man. I'm gonna be honest, it's horrible. And when the people that I talk to and mentor, I tell them, when they're getting ready to go through that, I say, listen, some people, they do better than others. I did decent with it. I want to say because, I was an athlete and, in great shape, but people that, aren't that, it's one of those things that attacks. It's kind of like COVID, I mean, when I say it's kind of like COVID, each body is different how it attacks it, but it attacks the parts of you that are weaker. You see what I'm saying? So somebody might not make it out of that treatment. They might have to take that treatment down, but I just say that to say, it's a serious thing, man. It really is. And, I don't wish that on my worst enemy. But God, was really good to me. I fought hard, man. I watched a lot of comedy to get through it, to keep my spirits up, because I had a lot of doubts going through it, man. There was times I didn't know if I was going to make it out of that, I just didn't. I felt so bad sometimes. I remember feeling so bad that I told my homeboy, I was like, look, man, I don't care. Take me to the club. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, did you hear what I said?
For you.
Well, hell yeah, because I was feeling so bad. I was just hurting so bad. I was feeling like I wasn't gonna make it, man. And I was just like, I just want to live, bro. I just want to live, man. Take me to. I went to the club with the chemo pack and my shit bag on.
Man.
And they just, stayed around me, made sure nobody wasn't bumping me and shit like that. But, and all the whole time I was in there, I was just sitting in the back. I'm sitting down, just thinking like, how, like, I don't understand. Like, how my life get like this? But I was happy to see people enjoying themselves. And when I'm looking at people and I'm just like, it's amazing how one day I was just like you. And then the next day, I'm in my head thinking, am I gonna make it? You know what I mean? Make it out of this at all, and it was the truth. But I did make it out of it. Like I said, I watched a lot of more and kept my spirits up. I laughed a lot. I recommend that to all people that are going through, the treatments and cancer at all, stay laughing, man, because if you're gonna need it, that was very important. And, and then the sun. And people ask me all the time, why you don't coach? Why? I was like, man, because I still cannot be in the sun too long.
Okay.
Why is that? What type of effect does the sun have on you?
Oh man, it's like double what it really is. And that happens to a lot of people that have received radiation and the chemo.
What do you mean double what it really is? Like it's hot, it feels hotter?
Hotter. I'm hotter. It affects me 10 times fold. Like I just start, really sweating. And I have this, it's one thing to be sweating and be just tired and it's hot. but I feel a tiredness coming from within. It feel like my soul, I'm hot, like seriously. So I stay the hell away from it. If I go to a beach or something like that, I might walk around for a second or whatever, but I'm back into some cool air, drinking water and stuff. I'm not going to be out there just the sun tanning and all that shit ain't for me.
I don't think it's for any of us.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, I was just so tired. And, the other thing, is that the lingering effect of having the chemo for me is that I have what you call neuropathy, where it feels 24/7 right now. Always, I feel like my feet are just like I have heavy socks and boots on, and they're all wet.
Wow.
But it feels numb. Like the tips of my fingers and stuff feel numb.
And this is right now in this very moment that we're in.
That's right now. That's another reason why I stopped lifting. Because I wouldn't, I had a shoulder injury, of course, but my grip and all that, it just wasn't there. No, it's not there, and it was unpredictable. I actually had an accident where my foot was on the brake of the car and my whole shit just went numb and I rolled and hit the back of another car.
Because you couldn't realize that you weren't lifting it up.
Yeah, that's what ended up happening. And that helped me out on that case a little bit. I still, they still try to sue me and all this other stuff. But, it's just going through all of that different stuff, man. It's a monster, like I said, and I just want people to be aware of what's going on with it.
For sure. And speaking of a monster and what's going on, we got to give a big shout out to Definition Cigars because they are a monster in their own right. The good guys, as they're called. If you're not familiar, get familiar with Definition Cigars. You can reach them on Instagram at Definition Cigars, and their website is definitionscigars.com. I want to go backwards. And first of all, thank you for the transparency and pulling back the curtain on really what treatment is, right? What that looks like, what the cancer looks like. You're on your hands and knees, you're crying. And during this time, your wife served you or wanted to have a separation, and then ultimately you guys got divorced. I mean, and now you're not in the NFL. You went from being at the peak of your career and life and having money, fame, fortune, all this other stuff, right? To your entire world crashing down. And I only bring that up, Jay Wynn, because I'm looking at you now, and I've known that you've always had this jovial, outgoing, charismatic personality that's really just a magnet for everybody, right? Like you're that guy. But how did you deal with all of this, all your entire world crashing down on you, and still have the spirit that you have today?
Oh, well, let's back up to the crashing part. It just let's be frank with it, and I don't want to cuss too bad, but I did a lot of effing up. I did a lot of effing up. I went on a complete party.
Anybody?
Huh?
You can say what you want to, man.
Well, okay. Well, I did a lot of fucking up, a lot of dumb decisions. Because at that time, it's not that I didn't care about, like, it just began a series of bad decisions for me in my life. And, I had to go through all of those bad decisions. And when I say I hadn't been, I had not been locked up, I want to say ever in my life, really, for 30 years. And after the cancer, you know what, actually, I take that back. I got locked up with that chemo bag pack on and that colostomy bag. It was actually the warrant was actually not a good warrant. But when they put me down in the I don't know what sector this is in jail. It's not even the mental place or the I was down there by myself, well, like really by myself. And I think a lot of that was because I had the chemo pack, which really has the liquid chemo in it. So, they didn't keep me in jail very long that time once they realized the significance of the severity of what I had pumping into my body. I did a lot of screwing up, man. I just didn't know how to handle a lot of stuff that was going on. I just wanted to live. And that was really what it was all about. But it was some dumbass decisions on things. When a drug drugs are against the law. I want to party, and what comes with party, there's girls, there's liquor, there's drugs, and depending on what kind of level of finances you are, there's different types of drugs, and that's just the truth. And I was head in, because my part of my mind felt like I didn't have that long anyway. So I wanted to enjoy some of my time. And at that time, I was going through the divorce with my wife. I couldn't see my kids. I was paying buku money out the butt. You know what I'm saying? Oh, by the way, and I also got put out of my own house on protective order for, 2 weeks the first time, then 3 months, then a year.
Out of your own house?
Yes. With and temporary child support, $6,000 a month for 2 kids, and I just had the bag taken off, so I had this J pouch put inside of me, which is basically like to hold your stool or whatever, but I have to keep this shit lubricated. And I had to get used to sitting down, using the bathroom again, wiping my butt again, it's just a lot for me, man. It was just a lot. And I felt like didn't nobody give a shit. The way that I was treated in court and by the divorce people, and, it felt like, man, damn, don't nobody even care that I'm going through all this shit, all y'all talking about is my fucking money and all this shit. And I was like, y'all, some horrible fucking people in this world. And that fucked my head up. Let
me ask you this, Jay Wynn. Mm-hmm. So you got the athletic background, and obviously, there's a side of you that is super, super, super competitive. Given everything that you've detailed, that you dealt with, can you talk to us and the visionaries and everybody listening about how somewhere in there that competitive mindset allowed you to fight through all of this? Because you've lived 3 lifetimes, man. You're barely 40 years old, and you've been to the absolute bottom, and you've somehow figured out a way to come out on the other side of it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get to it. And it's right around the corner. Like I said, I've said it before we got on. I ended up getting locked up one time, and for the first time, and I was supposed to get right out, supposed to get right out, get a bond, get right out. Didn't work that way.
Well, hold on. What'd you get locked up for? If you're gonna tell a story, tell us why you were getting locked up.
Because I had a charge back about 2 years ago. I made bond. I went to court. Me and my lawyer, they made another new court date for me. Now, I've never gone to court without a lawyer, right? Okay. I get stopped because I can have a warrant because the bondsman came off of my bond saying that they didn't have a record of me showing up in court. So that was automatic warrant once you come off the bond. Now, I don't know this yet. So I'm riding one night with my boys. We going to the club. Get pulled over. No, actually, we was on the strip club. We go to the club, the ATM wasn't working, so I leave out of the club, get in my truck. There's a Quick Trip right there, next door to it. Pull into the handicap spot in the Quick Trip. The police pull up right behind me and ask for my license. I was like, what's wrong? What's the problem? Can I get out of the car? I already knew it was some bullshit. But anyway, so I went to the cab jail, sat there for about a week. Then once I finished there, bailed out there, went to Atlanta, Rice Street. Then another warrant, from the county Clayton, that where I went to court and was supposed to be in court and went to court, but they said I didn't. That's a whole nother county. So once I finished, I had to go there and back and forth. It was just so much shit going on with them transporting me. They wouldn't transport me, making me miss a court date over there at this jail. So now I get pushed back again. You see what I'm saying? Like, the system is fucked up, you know, it really is. But I mean, I took full responsibility because, you know, I should have never been in the damn system like that anyway. And that's my fault. And that's what I realized once I was locked up. And when the turning point came, you know, because everybody outside, I take care of a lot of people, man. A lot of people depend on me. And from inside of there, it just felt, I was just like, man, I just can't affect, I can't make a difference on nothing except let people spend my money. That's all I could do. But I'm much more than that in my family and in my role. You know, I'm one of the strongest people in my entire family. And when I'm not there, I could tell and feel that difference, and everybody could feel it instantly. You know what I'm saying? And that hurt me. And that's when I was sitting in there and I had, like I said, I had a roommate that was really into the Bible and knew the Bible and read it. I just one day just started asking, I started reading with him, and I started realizing, you know, a lot of things that's going on in there. And I kind of knew why I was out there doing what I was doing, partying and all that. But I just said to myself, and that's the way you know, with the competitive nature in me, I know I'm better than that. You know, they're treating me like I'm just nothing. And I'm far better than that. I'm far more than that. I'm far more important than that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a guy that should be sitting in here. But long story short, after I go through it and realize, well, my mind state at the beginning was not in the position to where I could even help people like I wanted to necessarily. You know, yeah, you know, it wasn't there yet. I thought it was, but it wasn't. So after I get to reading the Bible and just working on myself in jail, let me tell you how my working on myself, working on peace. Okay, one day, you know how, and this is crazy. So when the door shuts, you can't come out the whole break. That's like 2 hours. You don't get many of them a day. When I got out of there, so I went to the dude that had did it, you know, and I was pissed. And so the guy was pissed, and we, you know, we was about to get into it. And then he said something, man, that almost made me lose it. You know, this dude said to me, "That's why your ass had cancer."
Oh,
and
man.
And then I had a decision to make, because in my heart, I really felt like I should punish him. But then I'm going 30 days in a hole and another charge, because if I do something, I'm not finna just try to fight you and beat you. In there, I'm finna try to end your life. Yeah. Because I know for a fact you're gonna end mine. You're gonna try to end mine. But check it out now. But I've been reading and I've been studying with my guy on patience and resilience and all of these things that a lot of people in the Bible had, and the patience that God had. And I had been practicing it. Started working out, you know, doing my push-ups in there, you know, as much as I could do. But I was I more so want to focus on that. So I don't know how it happened. I just looked at him and I just like, you know what? And my boy was right there. And he was like, looking at me like, now what we've been studying, what we've been reading, the patience, the resilience. And for the first time, I felt it. Like, it's all about the decision making. It's all about how strong can your mind be at a time where your body and your emotion feel a whole different way. Can you still control that thought process? And so I got it, right? Now check this out. This is what's real funny about that. Okay, that went on, that left. Man, about 4 days later, do you know that this same kid, now he's huge. He didn't look like a kid at the time. You know what this man said?
What'd he say?
First, he told me his name, and I was like, oh, okay. you know, and I'm still kind of watching them, you know what I mean? Because I don't know what they be on. You know, I got to watch my back. But I'm calmer. I was like, yeah, my name Jay. He was like, man, I was talking to one of the dudes, man. And he was like, man, you actually one of my favorite players. I used to play with you on Madden all the time.
Wow.
And then I was like, oh yeah? He's like, you know who I am? He was like, your name Jamie Winborn. Use number 55 for the 49ers. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. And he was like, bro, I'm so sorry, man. I was like, man, how old are you? Guess what he said?
18.
He's like, man, I'm 19.
Mm.
And I looked at him and I'm just like, this is the biggest fucking 19-year-old I ever. No, what I was thinking to myself. But you know, it just made me sit there and say, Jamie, you're not no young ass dude. This could be your son. If you started having kids, or I had my first kid, I was 25. Just say if I was, you know, started at 14, 15, you know, he's actually old enough to be my son. I mean, he could have been that. And I just felt so bad. And then, you know, guess what he played? Guess what he played in high school? Linebacker.
Middle linebacker. Yep.
Middle linebacker, bro. So I'm sitting here listening at this. And then he asked, he's like, man, you mind when we come out here, man, if I walk around with you and do some push-ups or something with you, bro? And I was just like, you know what, man? You can do that. You know, and I said, man, and you know, and about that other day, man, I really do apologize. He's like, man, you ain't got to, man. You ain't even got. I said, nah, bro, it's bigger than what you think it is. That was a test for me, you know, and I was almost having tears come down, bro, because it was like I just seen it, like, damn, everything I'm reading in this book, in this Bible, it's like it's all out here in the world. It's all here, but the way I could finally see that it wasn't everything that was going on. It was my view of what was going on that was fucking me up. You see what I'm saying? So I had to change the way I see things, my whole mindset. I had to change all that because I was in a fucking funk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sure. Yeah, they put you out your house. You had cancer. They put you out your house. You know, paying all this, you know, got you in court with 6, 7 police around you because of a lie somebody else done told, you know what I'm saying, and all of this stuff. But, you know, above all of that, can you stay true to what you know and believe, Jamie, mentally, and be strong about it yourself, which is what I gained when I was locked up. And I had to realize that it's all on me and my mental focus. And I've always been a strong person. But I never had to focus like I had to focus then. Like when you sitting in a cell and it ain't shit in here, you know what I'm saying? And I got stomach issues. You know, my roommate don't like the fact that I use the bathroom 5 times probably more than the average guy do. You know what I'm saying? I'm ashamed of that. But I had to just let him know, man, I can't help it. This is what I am now. You know what I'm saying? And I apologize. I do what I can do to, you know, make you not, you know, but I got to use the bathroom, bro. I don't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? But I had to realize, you know, I had to drop all my ego, bro, because that didn't mean that I was a man. You know, the strongest guy and all that shit, that don't mean that you the man. You know, it's okay to have feelings. It's okay to step back. You don't have to win everything, Jamie. You don't have to win everything. Wow. But you do have to work on everything.
Wow. You know, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy because, you know, we're talking 20, 21 years of me knowing you, right? Yeah. And Jamie and I were always cool. We ain't never had no beef, no issues, or nothing like that. And I looked up to you and Hot and Lou and Mente and all y'all because y'all are out there doing it and having fun and everything else. And you had me and Russian and Gibb kind of come, you know, in after y'all, Mike Barton, A-Mac, and all of us, right? it's crazy because you look at Jamie, who was always, he was the alpha of all alphas, right?
Yeah.
And to hear you, talk about your faith and how that's impacted you and allowed you to become more patient and look at things in a positive light,
Mm-hmm.
and work off of the positive energy that's around you, man. I think it's an absolute amazing story. I'm curious now where you are. We know, what you've had to overcome
Mm-hmm.
from, cancer, a failed marriage, being locked up a couple of times. How do you shield yourself from negative energy?
I stay away from it.
How? I mean, we
Well,
live in a negative world.
well, this is the thing. To be honest with you, man, I was when I did, after I finished that time, I actually went to a AA program, and as I go to, I never went to practice and bullshitted, so I wasn't gonna go to an AA meeting and not get something out of it. So I didn't really have and then when I looked at it deeper, I need fucking work. I need continuous work. I'm nowhere near where I want to be at, regardless. And I feel really strong right now, but I'm still so far away from where I want to be. But I know it because I have to just continue to work on. This is not something that you just say, oh, one day I got it. No, it don't work that way. It's a constant revolving door of working on yourself to be better. Each day I look at the day that I had when I go to the grocery store, the son bitch cut me off in the store. Somebody stole a parking spot. I grade myself every day on how did I handle all of the presentable situations that happened to me. And I had to realize they didn't happen to me. They just happened. You see what I'm saying? Everything is not just happening to you. It's not just happening to Ryan Cuff. It's not gonna just happen to Cuffy. That shit just happens overall. And when you take yourself out of it and you take the selfishness out of it, things in life, because I'm nobody in this world, bro. Listen, I played a lot of ball, but I ain't shit. I mean, in the thick of things in this world, listen, man, when I die, they say, oh, he played a little football, had a couple kids, that's it. That shit's dead. It's not going to be much more than that. So you can't think that you just, oh, so big. I'm a small piece in this whole big scheme of thing, and I know that. And that's what allows me to sit back and just be more calm about it and be much more peaceful about things and to see things in a different way. And I don't have to jump with my emotions. And I've studied myself so well that as soon as I wake up, I already know if I'm in a bad mood for real or not. I know if I'm not feeling well, mentally. I know if I'm not feeling well physically. And within all of that, I also know if another person may not be feeling like that. My girl may wake up sometimes and her attitude is just horrible to me. Back in the day, I used to be like, man, fuck you. I ain't fucking with you no more. I don't want to fuck with you at all. I don't want to be. Now, I don't do any of that. I say, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. But I can acknowledge that she could be having a bad day. But does that mean that I have to react? If she's having a bad day, the last thing she wants me to do is to rear up at her. Like, what the fuck you having a bad day for? Two idiotic people don't do shit but fuck up something and end up in a bad place.
Yes, sir.
But I'm the man of this household. I'm the one that has worked on more patience. It's a situation in this household now where nobody can even piss me off in that fashion. If I have to raise my voice for something and exert the fact that I'm the alpha lion in this house, but I will do that. But only in a good way. Because I need everybody to respect me in that way. I don't need everybody to respect me like, oh, he will go crazy. No. They need to admire the patience that I have. They need to admire the fact that how I'm so open to everybody's feelings, They need to they need to admire me for other things than all of that BS, that egotistical shit. I'm not worried about that, because that's what a real man is, bro. That's what a real man is. A real man, I've developed and come to understand that I can say and help my brother and say, listen, man, I was there one time, and I understand why you want to do that. But the truth is, my brother, if I really love you and care about you, I tell you the truth, that's not gonna end up well for you. It may be fun for a while, but the repercussions of that is gonna damage you in so much more than any of the fun that you had.
Yeah.
But I gotta be honest with my people. Any friends, not just black people. I like that with my white friends, my Arab friends, Chinese, whatever. I'm like that with everybody. But I become to be a person that cares about everybody in life because I know that everybody's going through the same thing. It's a little different, but it's not different.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. Like, we're talking about just working with people, and like I said, whether they're having a good day or a bad day. Some people who support us, whether we're having good days or bad days, or the people at Class A Vodka, Crystal and Tim. Thank you guys so much for your support. Visionaries, they're on Instagram at Class A Vodka. Class A is with a K. The slogan is "Class in every glass." Make sure that you look them up. We promise you, it's a great product. You will not be disappointed. Switching gears, Jay Wynn. Okay. So, like I said, you've been through this amazing ride, this amazing roller coaster, right? And now you've got to a point where you're centered, if you will, if I can use it. You're centered. You're grounded. You got your feet firmly planted. How do you, when like I said, when you come across somebody and say, whether it's your girlfriend waking up, she's having a bad day, or if you just might be out in public, what is your advice to our visionaries when it comes to having a particular mindset about overcoming and realizing, say, it's not about me. I like what you said. I'm just a small piece in a giant puzzle. What would you tell somebody who might be going through something similar, whether it's a fight with cancer or they're just battling their own mental demons?
Well, okay. Well, if you're battling your own mental demons, I would say to seek some type of help. And it doesn't necessarily mean help. When I say that, I don't mean like demons. I've been studying a little bit, so there's some demonizing attributes and stuff like that, but anything negative, you're battling anything negative, you're battling anything that's bothering you, that's not being positive, not giving you positive energy when you think about these things, which means it depresses you to think about it, makes you sad, any of that kind of stuff. That's also a form of demon. I tell people, I would say to them, to focus, try to, and it's not going to try to focus on the positive things in life, the positivity that of something, because the energy that you give is the energy that you will always receive and attract. Okay, so it's not going to all happen at once. This is something that takes time. This is routine of work. I still need work on it, and I still have to work on it after years and years of working on this, But what I would say to them is just to, no matter what's going on, sometimes give yourself a little bit more pat on the back than what you think, and that will start you off to realize, and when you wake up in the, to that things are not as bad as they seem. When you wake up in the morning, you have to create a routine. I try to pick 5 things every morning when I wake up that I am grateful for. Because if I don't do that, when I wake up, I let a lot of outside stuff get into my head. When I have to realize, man, I'm grateful to just be able to wake up and walk outside, bro. I'm grateful to see my kids and be able to see my kids wake up in the morning, because there was a point in time where I wasn't seeing them at all. You know what I'm saying? So I try to be grateful. Routine is very, very important. I try to wake up now. I don't always do the exercise stuff now, but I stretch now. I stretch. I've been doing that for a while. I try to stretch. I enjoy getting me a cup of coffee. And I know everyone's everybody's life's not the same as mine. But within your routine of what you're doing, if you got to get up, take a shower, get ready to go to work, hey man, enjoy that damn shower.
There's always opportunity to show gratitude.
There's always an opportunity to show gratitude, because when you do that, it's very difficult for all this outside shit to really get to you and knock you off of your square mentally. It's hard when you are already so gratified. When you get in, you know, some people, listen, man, when I was in that program, they took my license. I had 12 fucking cars and I got to catch the bus.
What were you doing with 12 cars, bro?
That's Jay Win.
Yeah, I like cars. No, but you think that's fun. But let me tell you what's funny is that I would have to walk about 20 minutes from my apartment in my program just to get to the bus stop, because I got to catch the bus. That's what they made me do for 3 months. I'm carrying a heavy ass backpack. I'm getting on the train to go downtown. I got people on the train asking me, man, what the fuck you doing on the train? You know what I'm saying?
I'm curious, bro. Where do you park 12 cars?
At home. I had some at that house, and then I had a couple in storage at that time. Well, at that house, I think I had 1, 2. I had 5. My driveway hold about 4 of them, and then I had 2 inside, you know, and then I had a townhouse. I keep 2 parked there, and then my other buddy over here, I keep a couple at his house. I got cars and shit scattered out right now. I only got, how many cars I got here at this house now? I don't know. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 now. Just this here, you know, and I got 2 at my buddy's house and 1 in storage. And, you know, my worker dude, he got 3 of them sitting over there. Well, but anyway, you know, I like I said, when I get back to it, I'm, you know, the whole thing is, man, I just have to find something to be grateful for, man. You know, I try to stay in that positive mindset, you know. I mean, like we was talking about the cars, I love cars, you know what I mean? But they don't define me. Everybody that know me know I really don't give a shit about all that. But I do like cars. Don't get it twisted. But I mean,
hey.
Oh yeah, I had a 67 Camaro, a 67 Grand Prix convertible, one of 5800 ever made. You know, I still got a 68 Chevelle True 138 car, matching numbers, all that. The SS joint. I mean, I've had a slew of the cars, but those are some of the ones that I kept.
Hey, but you know what, Jay? I remember that expedition when they first came out.
Oh, baby, yeah. Listen, baby, I had the Eddie Bauer expedition with the 20-inch deep dish Lowenharts, 4 Kicker 12s in that joint, and 2 TVs. Oh, and by the way, I got robbed for the truck, jacked for the truck by
TSU. Yep.
So I said, you know what? I think the car wasn't as expensive enough. So I came back in the Benz. Do you remember the black Benz
I
bought Scarface baby mama?
I didn't know it's from her, but yeah, I remember that too.
That's where I got that from. That black one with he had bought that for his baby mama or whatever. And I'm not sure if it's his wife or his ex-wife. It was somebody from the past or whatever. But anyway, and I went ahead and got that one, man. And but you know, things worked out for a little bit. But my buddy Larry Salters, who played for the Titans, I was telling him about the time I got robbed. He's like, man, but I drive a Benz. They ain't finna do all. I said, listen, that's Nashville, Cashville, baby. You gotta watch yourself. Do you know that they left that man Benz on blocks in front of Sweat? The plate food restaurant Sweat.
I know.
He called me and came out. It was so funny on the phone. I was like, what's up, Lance? He's like, yo, son. Cause you know, he from New York. He's like, yo, son, they fucking got me, man. They fucking got me. I was like, what you talking about, Lance? He said, my fucking car's on bricks. I said, what car? He said, the Benz. I said, they good, ain't they, Lance? He said, man, I don't know how they did it. We was eating in the restaurant. We wasn't even in there all that long. It's like the car's parked right in front of the restaurant. I said, man, It's Cashville. It's Cashville, baby. It is not country town. Trust me.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
yeah, but I remember that though. But yeah, man. You know, when I think back on the memories of things, man, and it's just so many good memories in life, man. And that's the beauty of it, man. You know, being able to share memories in life. How I can see you now, Cuffy. Look at it, man. It's 21 years, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
21 years, you know. There's not a lot of people that I can say that I know I've known 20 years. You know what I'm saying? That I knew back then, you know, and I'm beginning finally now to see the beauty of life and the gratefulness of it. You know, you got kids and the kids are growing and you know, and everything's just for some reason now for me, man, it's just really looking beautiful for me, even though, you know, I don't have as much money as I used to have. You know, I don't have all of the things that I had or any of that stuff, but my heart is richer than it's ever been. And I know that. And the type of person I am is better. I'm a better person than I ever was with any time in the past. You know, in that, you know, I've been to help people and had a good heart. But right now, but how I feel now is I can really have empathy for people and what they're going through. I don't think about myself first anymore. I think about, you know, the next man, you know, my brother in life. And I don't have to know you or have grown up with you or none of that. Like, you know, like I'm at the point now, man, where if a cat was trying to rob me and I really had a chance to really get at him and shoot him, you know, I'm almost at the point now where it's almost like I almost just want to talk to him and say, man, you know, things can be better, brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Things can be better, brother. I know the struggle. I've been there and why I've been there, but I'm just at the point in my life where I just feel like, you know, I'm not going to say I feel sorry for you. I know that you're just in the wrong state of mind. And yes, there are some people that never come out of that, but if we don't try, you know, we never will. You know, it's just like the state of the country. If we don't try and bring the unity together, it's just going to crumble, man, because that evil shit it doesn't work, man. That separation, it doesn't work, bro. It will never work, man. It's in the Bible. It don't work, bro. You can't treat people bad and think things are gonna be good for you.
Right.
It may be good for a little bit, but guess who that is? That's the devil tricking you.
Yeah.
That's the devil tricking them.
We're in a very interesting place, man. And
yeah.
Before we kind of switch gears and really
I'm sorry, man.
Have a good time, Cuff, allow me to say thank you to another group who supports us. And that's the good folks at Dallas Leaf LLC, Ron, Tash, Ray, David, all you guys. Thank you guys so much for your support. You know, we definitely look forward to big things in the very, very near future.
And Ron, listen, we've had the Bishop and the Hamilton. Y'all are on it now. That is amazing. It was absolutely great smoke. Very, very big fan of that. So keep that going, brother.
Cuff, it is time to land the plane, sir.
Yes, sir.
And that means it's time to land the plane, visionaries, with the good folks of Grand Brûlot. Thank you guys so much. It's been great. Obviously, we're still getting to know each other a little bit, but this has been awesome so far. We definitely look forward to what's coming down the road in the future. So, Jay Wynn, we're going to play a little bit of word association. I'm going to say a word. You can tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Compete.
Football.
Survivor.
First word.
Dang, survivor. Myself.
NFL.
Bad penalties.
Family.
Everything.
Energy.
Positive.
Cancer.
Horrible.
If you were, what would be your spirit animal?
It's a good question. That's a very good question.
Off the top of the dome.
I don't know. Cause I always used to say it was dang, that's a hard question because I'm trying to get away from the bull because he doesn't think enough. And I'm a heavier thinker now. So I can't, that's a good question. Actually, Actually, I'm on.
Now you got to ponder it now.
Yeah.
Cause I got, I'm trying to get away from the bull because people always say, and that was my thing. I was like bulls anyway. I like bulls actually in real life, but it's a good one. I got to think on that one. So you got me.
All right. If your life were a movie, who would be cast as the main actor?
Eddie Murphy. Because I like to laugh. I like to have fun, man. And I'd always felt like Eddie had fun acting. When he really gave it all he had, and he had a lot of fun doing it. And everything didn't always work out right, but he really had good energy to me. I don't know of any movies where he's like horrible, bad guy or anything.
That's good.
What's your favorite football memory, Jamie?
Favorite football memory. Actually, this one was in the pros. They did a trick on me, a rookie trick. We was playing New Orleans. I had an interception that game. But anyway, I had an interception, did pretty good that game. But before the game, they how you have the what do you call it? The book that tells what's going on in the game, all the players, all that stuff, right?
Media guide.
Okay. So they put up there when we were working out. I can't remember how they said it, but they let us know that somebody in the stadium was gonna win a brand new Cadillac Escalade if they had the signature on a certain page, on this like page 48 or something like that, right? So I ain't thinking nothing about it. I'm thinking it's a fan and all of this, right? How about I get in there and looking at my book and I got the signature on my damn media guide. So I'm like, oh snap. I run and get the pastor, the church chaplain, because he's like, what's going on? I said, man, listen, you the only one I trust. Look, you the only one I trust. I need you to take this book and keep it dear to you. Keep it right next to you. He said, what's going on, Jay? I said, I don't want a truck. I don't want a brand new Escalade. Boy, I can't lose today in the game. I know I can't. I don't want an Escalade. I can't lose. So listen, I go out there. I mean, I'm hyping in the game. I'm warming up. I don't want them. I'm going to Escalade up already.
You already ready. He's really playing with house money.
Yeah. So, okay, I played again. I had a pick. Oh, I had a tackle for loss. Oh, man, it was awesome. So after the game, we won. We go back in there and Mariucci, and I'm so pissed off with Mariucci about this deal. And he was like, so when I come back in there, and he was like, yeah, and I also have an announcement, man. Evidently, one of the guys in here, they accidentally placed it in here, and somebody in here is one that's a player. Me not catching on. They knew it was me. So let me tell you what happened. Garrison Hurst comes up to me and Fred Beasley. He was like, man, I really need to get my mama in the truck, man. I'm gonna kind of write you a check for $40,000. I said, man, you ain't gonna write me no check no $40,000. He said, man, matter of fact, I'm gonna write for $45,000. And he said, man, I'm good for the money. I said, yeah, you're probably good. You probably got 45 to throw away or whatever. I said, man, I don't know, man. And so the coach started talking or whatever. He done wrote the damn check now. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, coach talking or whatever, and he said somebody's won, and I was like, man, I won the truck. He's like, oh yeah, whatever. I forgot how it went, but he brought me to the front because he gave me I won a game ball too. And he was like, what are you gonna do with your truck, man? What you gonna do with your truck? And I forgot what I said, man. I said, man, I don't know, man. Garrison say he want to buy the truck. Say he was gonna give him $45,000. He done wrote the check and everything. I said, I hope the check clear. He said, it really don't matter the check clear. And I said, why he say that? He said, because it ain't no truck. I mean, giggles, all this shit stops. I said, why you say, look, I said, why you say that? He said, everybody just started laughing. It was in the stadium about an Escalade. Listen, golly. Oh my God, dog, you don't know how I never went so high and felt so low, so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, I kept telling Coach, Mary, he was like, come on, break us down. And I was like, but Coach, it ain't no Escalade for real. You know, and I was like, you know, you can't play with black people about winning the Escalade.
All the cool out your walk.
Oh, listen, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I was on the plane pouting like this. That's real bullshit. I said, you know, I had to call my mama and told her I won. You know, but it was just so good of a prank. Oh my God! Every time they always talk to me about that when I see folks too, they always be like, "Man, you remember that Escalade?" And I be like, "No, I don't want to talk about that shit. I don't even want to talk about that because that's bad, bro. That's bad to do to somebody." But it was a great prank, but that's the one I remember so bad, man. Oh my goodness.
Hey, Jay Wynn, for all of our visionaries that are tuning in still, how can they get a hold of you? You know, on your social media handles.
Yeah, on my social media, Instagram is Jamie Winborn, no spaces. Also, my Facebook is Jamie Winborn. That's Jamiewinborn. I'm getting back on Twitter now. That would be J Winborn 55. And that's pretty much it, man. That's where I'm at. You hit me there, if, you know, you DM me something, you know, anything, you know, that, you know, if you got some questions, if I can help in any kind of way or form or fashion, just let me know.
And for all of our visionaries, make sure you send Jamie a DM that says he's won an Escalade too.
Oh boy. Yeah, man. I'm thinking that was a great time, man. I ain't gonna lie, they really got me. I don't think I've ever been pranked that good in my entire life.
That's good.
Well, so we reached this part of it. Cuff, you good? I got you, partner. So, if there's a round table, Jay Wynn, and there are 5 other people at the table, who are the 5 other people you want at the table? And the only stipulation is you can't have Jesus there.
I probably have Frederick Douglass. You know, Frederick Douglass, Oprah Winfrey, Dick Butkus. How many I got? That's 3?
Yes, 3.
2 more.
2. Frederick Douglass, Oprah Winfrey, and Dick Butkus.
Dick Butkus. Give me Kevin Hart, because I need to laugh. And Jeff Bezos.
That's good. That's a good list.
Because I need to borrow some money.
That's a good list. That's a good list. 5 years from now, let's just say we're gonna make up a random date. It's gonna be December 1st, 2025.
Oh my gosh. 5
years from now, December 1st, 2025. What is Jamie Winborn going to be doing?
Hopefully, I'm somewhere on vacation. Hopefully, both my 2 daughters are graduated and in college and not calling me, asking me for no money. And then hopefully I can be somewhere on a beach, relaxing.
Well, you can't be out there too long.
Yeah, but I still want to be out there. I swing through. Look, if I do go out, I got the umbrella. Trust me, for the little time that out in there, but
a big umbrella.
I just want to, I just want to relax, man. I just want to be able to relax, man. Hopefully I'm, still in good spirits, which I know I'll be that, but and still helping people, and in a better place than what I am now, as far as mentally and spiritually. I just hope that's a lot stronger, and that I'm alive at all, for that fact. That's about it, man. Hope I have a new car, because I like cars.
We'll get you that 1999 Expedition Eddie Bauer with them 20.
No, don't do that to me, man.
It's your classic.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Hey, Jamie, what's the long-term vision for one Jamie Winborn?
You know, I don't know. I was thinking about that the other day, man. The long-term vision, I guess, is just to see my kids all grow up, man. Hopefully one day I can just have some grandkids and I can come in and talk a lot of shit to them about how cool I am, and and just be there to be there for them, man, when they had their problems.
Yeah.
So I can share some of the stuff that I've been through, and hopefully it can make, help them with some of the stuff that they're going through, man. To see the next generation, take care of the torch, of the family name, just, on carrying it on. And, that's the biggest thing, man. I don't really have a lot of material shit and stuff that I would like to have and stuff, really, truthfully. I just want to see everybody happy and in a good space, and, especially my family. And some of the little young kids we got just growing up, I just want to see them grow up. That's it.
Amen. Well, this is the last question of the Vision Lab podcast. But before we ask this, I just want to again say to you, man, how incredibly proud I am of you. And I know that a lot of people whose lives you touched, from Wetumppka to Arlington to San Francisco, Nashville, and everywhere in between, man. You've touched a lot of people. You are continue to be an inspiration, and I appreciate the transparency. I mean, we really pulled back the curtain. You're talking about, not being able to hold your bladder, not being able to do things that oftentimes define us as men, and I appreciate that, brother. So again, very proud of you. Love to see the man that you've grown into today, and you're going to be an inspiration to others. And all of the visionaries that have listened in. So, in case you didn't know, the Vision Lab, has a magical time machine. And so, what would today's version of Jamie Winborn, what advice would he be giving himself from 5 years ago?
So 5 years ago?
Yeah. What would you tell yourself from 5 years ago?
5 years ago. What's that? What are we in?
You'd be 2015.
Oh, 2015. That would have been 2015. What would I be? Man, I just make better decisions. That's all I could really say. Make better decisions. Invest in Amazon.
Amen.
Ain't that the truth?
Damn. Well, I keep missing out on all the great investments.
Listen, there'll be another one.
Yeah, it will be. You're right. I gotta pay attention, and I gotta get my daughter and them to get on it, because I ain't gonna find it. Because I don't be on the internet as much as they are. That's their time frame, man. It wasn't none of that back with us,
man.
For
real. All right, let's fast forward the clock 5 years from now. Okay, so you're 5 years older. What advice is Jamie Winborn from 5 years from now? What advice is he telling you today?
I would say to remain patient. One of the hardest things for me. That's it's what I probably devote majority of my time trying to work on. It's so difficult to work on patience, because you have to have the situations and the issues arise. You can't fabricate them.
Yeah.
You can fabricate a lot of other stuff to get a good test run of something, but you cannot do that with patience.
For sure. Well, listen again, man. Hey, this has been absolutely incredibly touching, and I learned a ton from you. So to a big thank you. Good
to meet you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Now, y'all know we got to do a part 2, because I mean, that's probably like 3% of all the stuff that's going on. I know I talk a lot, so I didn't get to a lot of the stuff, but hey, if you got some extra time one day, I'd love to share some other stuff, man. I got stories for days.
For sure. So to all of our visionaries worldwide, thank you again for tuning in to another fantastic episode of the Vision Lab podcast. We want to continue to bring you guests like Jamie Winborn and allow you guys to pick up the nuggets of wisdom that he's dropping on the trail of life. Remember, visionaries, it's up to you to pick them up.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Mosley. He is Ryan Cuffey. The voice you've been listening to is Jamie Winborn. We will see you guys next week on another great episode of the Vision Lab podcast.